Hello, good morning. In the previous classes, we have discussed about block 1 and block 2. We have already started block 3 in the previous class, and we have discussed about forms of business communication, where we have talked about business letters. So, in the today's class, we'll continue with the same business letters thing. Though we have started in the last class, but I'll give a quick review so that it would be clear. Well, so when we talk about business letters, there are various types of business letters. Uh, these are personal, social, official, business, and miscellaneous, right? So the very first one is the personal letter, where it is quite casual in nature and not formal. And personal letters are being written to a friend or within a family or somebody you know. So a casual letter kind of a thing, that is a personal letter. Next is a social letter. Social letter would be an invitation to a wedding or invitation to any social function, death notices, etc. You have seen in the newspapers short uh, notice regarding mentioning the date of birth and the date of death of a person, and it has been written formally, right? So that is a form of social letter only. Next is the official letter. Well, the official letter is written in formal form, as well as it is written for government and its corporation, etc. Like government has given any notice or given any orders, so that is called as official letter. Next is business letters. Now, this is the things which we have to concentrate. And from your examination point of view also, business letters are quite important. So these could be trade inquiries, order, complaint, import, export, correspondences, etc. Right? You may ask the price of any commodity, or you may ask about the availability of any item. So these will considered as the business letters. Next is the miscellaneous. It could be a letter to an editor, a letter to inquire something to any office like that. So these are called as miscellaneous letter. Now, over here, we need to discuss about business letters only, right? So the very first thing about business letter we need to know is essentials of a good business letters, right? So we have certain features of good business letter. These are number first one, correctness. Correct. By correctness, we means the information which we are providing in the business letter need to be correct, need to be factual based, right? Next is the completeness. Now, the information provided in the business letter need to be complete. I mean, no incomplete, no vague information is permitted in business letter. When you are not conveying what uh, you require or what information you want correctly, then don't expect a correct reply for it. So a very good business letter is always complete in nature. That is, it is not vague. Exact factual information is there. Next one is clarity. Now, the words which you are going to use in your business letter need to be very clear. No, again, the no vague letters and vague words are not permissible in business letters. Conciseness. By conciseness, we mean it need to be short. Don't write an essay in a business letter. Do not You do not need to mention each and every details in the business letter. What is your issue, what is to be done, and what has happened, what is required to be done. These information are more than enough for a business letter, right? So conciseness, right, that means to write briefly. Next one is courtesy. By courtesy we mean giving respect or considering the person to whom you are writing a letter. That is courtesy. So it should not be in a form of order. It should not be in a form of insult or anything. If you have an issue with the other person, with the company or anything, you just mention this is the issue. Do not take out your do not use any mean words, right? So letters should be courteous in nature. Now, next is consideration. Like all the important points have to be mentioned properly. So that is consideration. Concreteness. Like concreteness, by concreteness we means again the very first 3 points: correctness, completeness, and clarity. So by concreteness we mean all these things. That means the information need to be based on fact, need to be clear. It has to be complete. So that is known as concreteness. The what you want to say, you are just saying in a line or two. That's it. Next is the convincing part. So whatever information you want or whatever request you are making to the other party, write in a way so that the other party will be convinced by what you are writing. So these are the basic features of a good business letter, right? Next, we'll move on to the layout of business letter. So over here, I'll show you the format also of business letter. But before that, just understand what these things are. The first one is heading. Well, in the heading, what do we mention? Basically, the name of the organization. It is kind of a letterhead, right? You all people have seen letterheads. So what information are there in a letterhead? The name of the organization and the name of the person who is writing a business letter, his designation, his qualification, his contact information, as well as organization contact information, email addresses. All these things will go in the heading part, which is also known as letterhead, right? Usually in organizations or in any like offices or government offices, they usually their heading or this letterhead is already pre-prepared, right? So you just have to type the matter inside and send it. So need not preparing you need not prepare heading every time. So that is already been prepared. So that was about the heading part. Next is the date. Now the date will go on the right side just below the heading. On the date on which the letter is to be sent, that date will be mentioned over there on the just below the heading on the right side. Next comes the reference line. Reference line means to whom you are writing this letter will go in the reference line. The name of that person will be mentioned there. Or we usually write in letters na, to whom so it may concern. That is known as the reference line. Also, if that line is not written, then you have to mention the name, the designation, as well as the address of that person. That will come under the reference line. After reference line comes the inside address of the letter. Then the attention line. When we write a letter, now you write like that, na, subject and underline it. That is known as the attention letter. That means the purpose why you are writing a business letter is the attention line. Next is salutation. Salutation is how you are going to, uh, what do you say, address that person, like madam or sir, that is, or Mr. or Mrs. That is known as salutation. And it is very important while writing the letter, you have to give the correct salutation, right? If you know a person, then you may, you have a casual relationship with that a person, you can write dear instead of Mr., or you can skip writing sir or madam when you know. But when you do not know and there is a formal relationship, mentioning sir and madam is required. Next comes the body of the letter. Well, in the body of the letter, you mention about yourself, then you will mention about the issue, then you will mention about the things to be done, and what has to be done for that issue or for that information requirement. So that will come under the body of the letter. And the last one is the signature, where you usually you write now you're sincerely or you're respectfully. So that is known as the signature part. That will go on the left side at, at the end of the letter. So that is the layout of a business letter. Now we'll see sample format of business letter. Give me a moment. I'll just zoom it. Yeah. Is it clear on your screen? Can you see the sample of a sample format for business letter? Yes, no, anything? Is it clear? Can you see the sample format?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So over here you can see sender's name, the sender's company's name, the sender address, the sender's city, province, zip, postal code, phone number, and email address. This is the heading part, right? This may go on the left side, but better right in the middle, right? So that is the heading part. Next is the date. Next is the recipient's name, company's name, that address, postal code, number, and email. That is to whom you are writing it. Next is the subject, and you will mention the salutation like dear. If you know the person, you can write. If you have a casual relationship, write dear. Otherwise, write Mr., Mrs., or best option is to write sir or madam. Next is the introduction where the issue, acha, after, next is the introduction. Introduction is where you will explain the purpose of the letter, why you are writing it, and why you hope to achieve from, and any other important information you get out from the upfront. So that is the introduction part. Then comes the middle part. Middle part will be the detailed information about the issue. This is where you elaborate and provide more details about what you outlined in the first paragraph, right? And the next will be the conclusion. So this is a place where you wrap up and summarize things, and there may be a call to action like I request you to kindly look into the matter, or I request you to kindly do the needful. So these kind of lines will go in the conclusion part. And the last one is your signature part, sincerely your signature and name of the sender. So this is how a good business letter is being written. Now from your examination point of view, you may be asked about a sample format, right? So you will mention this sample format. Otherwise, if you have been given any situation to write a business letter, just follow the same format and write the business letter. Okay, I hope this is clear. Give me a moment, please. And next topic we'll start about after format, report writing. Okay, is it clear? Business letter is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Well, talking about report writing, a report is a document which describes an opinion, situation through observation, inquiry, collection of data, etc. Well, a report differs from other written communication in the following way. So, there is a difference between a report writing and a business letter. Let's see what difference they have. Well, the first one is a report is objective and projects the fact of the situation. We need not have the formalities which we have followed in the business letter. in the report also. So what actually report consists of an objective, that is the motive, as well as it project the facts, the information required for any purpose. So that is known as report. Next one is a report researchers data from outside sources, analyze them and draw conclusion and make a recommendation. So what is a report? Report is like there was an issue, you have how you have resolved the issue, all the information will go in the report. Now what will be the information? The first one was the first one will be the data which has been collected from the outside. Then the analysis part, data analysis part would be there. So the tools and techniques used for that data analysis will be mentioned over here, as well as the graphs, in the form of graphs, figures. You can mention the analysis part. Then you will draw conclusion from them, right? You can write the findings and conclusion which you got from the data analysis, and you can make a recommendations, like on the basis of the conclusion and findings you will write the recommendation. So this was the problem and this could be the probable solution of it, right? So that is the recommendation. So this is how a business report looks like. It will be like, first of all, there will be an objective, like why you have done so and so work. Then after the objective, uh, what is the requirement, what to be done will be mentioned. Then how you have collected data for the same, how you have analyzed it, how you have drawn finding conclusion, and the final suggestions will be mentioned over there. So this is how a report looks like. The next one is, the language of a report is concise and concrete with a defined outline. Like business letter also, we have talked about the same thing, that the report need to be, a business letter need to be concise and concrete. That means it should be based on facts and no vague information need to be there, and it should be written briefly. पूरा story लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है, the facts are only required over there. The fourth one is, a report during its presentation of data tends to use it's tables, charts and diagram to make matter easy, right? So a report during its presentation of data, अच्छा, जैसे मैंने पहले बताया, आप टेबल्स, चार्ट्स, फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स, डायग्राम्स यूज कर सकते हैं एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए कि आपने क्या किया, हाउ यू हैव डन द एनालिसिस पार्ट और एनी इंफॉर्मेशन यू गॉट थ्रू द data collection, right? So that at the time of presentation you can show with the help of diagrams, with the help of uh, figures, right, or charts. Next, last one is, longer report should give a summary so that the receiver may get content in a nutshell. Well, usually जब आपको ये एक रिपोर्ट पढ़ते हो तो यू हैव दिस एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पार्ट ऑफ द रिपोर्ट. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पार्ट में क्या होता है? इट इज लाइक अ समरी ऑफ द होल वर्क. जैसे कि पूरा वर्क में तो आपको सब कुछ बताना पड़ेगा, योर ऑब्जेक्टिव, व्हाई यू आर डूइंग दिस वर्क, हाउ यू हैव डन द वर्क, व्हाट एनालिसिस यू हैव डन. सो ये पूरा तो बहुत लेंदी प्रोसेस हो जाएगा ना. इफ यू वांट द लिसनर्स और यू वांट द रीडर्स टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपने किया क्या है, so you have to write a abstract, or you can also call it as executive summary of your report. तो वहां पर आप मेंशन करोगे just in few lines कि what was the reason of this study, what was the reason आपने ये report बनाई, and how you have collected data just in a line, and how you have analyzed it, and what is the conclusion you got from it, right? So this is how it has been summarized. It is known as the abstract part or executive summary part. Okay. So this was about report writing. Let me check the syllabus. What else is there in report writing? Please give me a moment now. I'll just stop it and just check the syllabus. If you people have the syllabus, you can also go through. In this written communication, we have report writing, steps in report writing, then format, essentials, and uses of report writing. Okay, fine. Okay. Next one is the purpose of report writing. Well, these are the following purposes. Let's see what are they. The first one is to inform about the departments, companies, or individual progress. So now it is not necessary that the whole information has to be there in the report. You can write a progress report as well. Like if you are doing any research work or you are up to some project or something, so you can write a progress report as well. That is also considered as a report, right? जैसे कि मैंने पहले आपको एक्सप्लेन किया कि रिपोर्ट में क्या क्या होता है. सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपकी रिपोर्ट तभी कंप्लीट होगी जब सारा का सारा उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन होगा. यू कैन राइट अ प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट एज वेल कि आप क्या करने वाले हो और आप कहाँ तक आपका काम पहुंचा है, राइट. इफ योर मैनेजर इज आस्किंग अबाउट इट, इफ योर सुपरवाइजर इज आस्किंग कि हाँ टेल मी आपको इतना टाइम मिला था, आपने क्या काम किया, सो व्हाट यू विल डू, formally you will write a progress report ki this was the objective and this is the time frame I am, and this is the whole thing, the blueprint of my work, and this is the stage on which I am. And in few so and so time, my work will be completed. So that is the progress report. Next is to tell the facts of an event for future reference or management action. Now, in the report, there will be future references as well as the suggestions for management action, ki what need to be done, right? So next is to argue out a course of action. Well, जो भी आपको रिपोर्ट से कंक्लूजन मिला है उसके उस on the basis of that data, on the basis of that, future course of action will be mentioned in the report. So report जो बनाई आपने उसका पर्पस क्या था, व्हाट वाज द पर्पस, द योर पर्पस वाज कि हाँ कुछ प्रॉब्लम था और उसका ये सॉल्यूशन निकला है एंड दिस इज हाउ वी कैन वर्क सो दैट ये प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट आउट हो जाए. सो दैट इज टू आर्ग्यू आउट अ कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन कि आपका पूरा रिपोर्ट बनाने का पर्पस क्या था. नेक्स्ट इज टू हेल्प to take a well-informed stand on problem or controversy. So this is the same thing, that is course of action कि जो भी problem था या जो भी controversy था उसको कैसे face किया जाए, कैसे handle करें, उसको कैसे eradicate करें. So it will give a solution for it. So well-informed stand, that is the solution. So this is the purpose of report. Next is the report writing format, the same. Similarly, we have done for business letter also. Now let's check for business report, report writing format. Well, the first one is the executive summary, that is the abstract which highlights the main report, already discussed. Then we have the table of content which is known as the index page. When you open any book, कोई भी book आप पढ़ने जाते हो तो index page is there, right? वो क्यों होता है कि आप किसी रीडर को अगर सिर्फ कुछ एग्जैक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, लाइक जो भी आपने वर्क किया है उसका वो जानना चाहता है, आपने एनालिसिस के लिए कौन कौन से टेक्निक्स यूज करी हैं, तो यू विल मेंशन पेज वाइज, पेज नंबर्स विल बी मेंशन. तो बाय सीइंग दैट टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट द पर्सन कैन रीच डायरेक्टली टू इट, उसको पूरा बुक पढ़ के देखने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. So that is the purpose. We write table of content, that is the index page. Next is the introduction, that is the origin and essential of main subject. Then comes the body, that is the main report. Over here, you will mention how all the work is being done, what was your objectives, whether the objectives are being fulfilled or not, on how you have done the collection, how you have done the analysis, and what are the conclusion. The conclusion will come the next. So this is how the main report will goes on. Next is the conclusion. In conclusion, you will write about the inferences. Inferences means the, what do you say, the findings you have got through analysis. Also the measures taken and the projection, that is the future course of action is termed as projections. And the last one is references, that is the source of information from where you have collected the data. Everything जो भी आपने report रेडी करी है उसके लिए आपने क्या क्या सोर्सेज यूज करी है, थ्रू बुक्स, थ्रू वेरियस अदर रिपोर्ट्स रिलेटेड टू योर वर्क, and internet or other libraries, journals, मैगजीन, सो जहां से भी आपको वो इंफॉर्मेशन मिला है, जो भी आपने अपने रिपोर्ट में मेंशन किया है, यू हैव टू मेंशन द रेफरेंसेस. एंड द लास्ट वन इज अपेंडिक्स. इन द अपेंडिक्स यू कैन राइट कि आपने जो डेटा कलेक्ट कैसे किया था, वेदर देयर वाज सम इंटरव्यूज और एनी क्वेश्चंस वर फ्रेम्ड फॉर इट. सो दोस questions will be mentioned over there. Or if you have done any related work related to the work you are doing, so that courses will be mentioned, any certification course will be mentioned, any publication you have done, so that will be mentioned in the appendix. So that is the format of report writing format. So you will ask about only format, you will not ask about how any situation will not be given in the examination. Only format will be asked, so you have to mention these formats and explain them. So that is sufficient for from the point of view of report writing. Is it clear? Yes, no, anything?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Next is uses of report writing. Just quickly we will check the uses, then we'll move to the next topic. The first one is the decision making tool. Why we are saying that a report will be a can be used as a decision making tool? Because जो भी आपने रिसर्च करा है या जो भी आपने रिपोर्ट बनाया है पूरा डेटा कलेक्ट करके, वो आपको किस चीज में हेल्प करता है? वेल, डेफिनेटली आपने जो भी काम किया वो काम क्यों किया? क्योंकि देयर वाज अ प्रॉब्लम और आप उसका सोल्यूशन ढूंढ रहे थे. तो डेफिनेटली जो पर्पस होता है या यूज होता है रिपोर्ट राइटिंग का, दैट इज द डिसीजन मेकिंग. आप डिसीजन कैसे लेंगे? आपको प्रॉब्लम था, कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था, आपने उसको एनालाइज किया, डेटा कलेक्ट किया, कंक्लूजन लिखा आपने, एंड व्हाट एक्चुअली यू गॉट, जो भी आपको रिजल्ट मिला, उसके थ्रू आप डिसीजन ले सकते हैं. सो दिस इज हाउ it is used as a decision making tool. So the process, as the process is very lengthy of writing of a report, but this is how it has been done. Next is to investigate. That is how I was telling कि जो भी प्रॉब्लम था उसको सॉर्ट आउट करने के लिए आप कुछ ना कुछ डेटा कलेक्ट करोगे. या मान लीजिए आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में देर आर सम प्रॉब्लम्स विद द एम्प्लॉइज की एम्प्लॉइज छोड़ के जा रहे हैं आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बहुत ज्यादा, या एब्सेंट बहुत ज्यादा रहते हैं. तो आप उसके लिए क्या करोगे? कुछ ना कुछ आप डेटा कलेक्ट करोगे, उनका इंटरव्यू लोगे, या कुछ क्वेश्चनर बनाओगे, उनको बोलोगे आप आंसर करो या आपका प्रॉब्लम्स बताओ क्या है. तो ऑन द बेसिस of that you will investigate. Next is the evaluation, that is the analysis. नेक्स्ट इज द क्विक लोकेशन. क्विक लोकेशन विल बी कि हाँ, पहले अगर मान लीजिए आपने अगर रिपोर्ट राइटिंग पहले करी है किसी भी इशू या प्रॉब्लम के लिए, तो आपको लोकेट करना इजी हो जाएगा कि हाँ दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम, राइट? सो दैट इज क्विक लोकेशन. नेक्स्ट इज डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्किल. वेल, रिपोर्ट राइटिंग से क्या होता है कि हम जानते हैं कि पर्पस क्या होता है रिपोर्ट राइटिंग का, टू गेट द इंफॉर्मेशन, टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द इंफॉर्मेशन. फाइन. जब आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत ज्यादा होगा या आप ज्यादा चीजें जान पाओगे, तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन डेवलप द स्किल, वेदर आपका स्किल की बात हो या तो फिर आपके एम्प्लॉयज की स्किल की बात हो रही हो. तो next is neutral presentation of fact. Now biasness need not be there in report writing. जैसे कि मैं बार बार बोल रही हूँ, information should be factual based. तो it should not be biased कि किसी को अच्छा दिखाने के लिए या किसी को खराब दिखाने के लिए information को tamper नहीं करते हैं. So neutral presentation of fact की जो है वो है, that is the neutral presentation. Next is a professional advancement, like similar to development of skill. Professional advancement is the when you know better, when you know your organization better, when you know your people better, advancement will be there. Then proper control, and next is a managerial tool, and the last one is encountering advanced and complex situations. आप कैसे एनकाउंटर करोगे एडवांस और कॉम्प्लेक्स सिचुएशन को? व्हेन यू नो कि हाँ ये इशू आया है तो ये क्यों आया है, बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड अ रिपोर्ट ऑन इट, वी ऑलरेडी नो कि दीज आर द फैक्ट्स, दीज आर द थिंग्स थ्रू विच प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. सो आप फेस कर सकते हो वो सारे चैलेंजेस को, वो सारे प्रॉब्लम्स को, कॉम्प्लेक्स सिचुएशंस को. सो दीज आर द यूजेस ऑफ रिपोर्ट राइटिंग. चलिए, विद दिस वी आर डन विद बिजनेस लेटर्स एंड रिपोर्ट राइटिंग. Any doubt, anything need to be asked? Well, the next topic from the next unit is employment related communication. So let's see what it is. Well, employment communication revolves around written communication and conversation between the employer and the job seeker. The employer communicates with the job seeker or prospective talent about the vacancies, company culture, perks and benefits, security, etc. Employers use creative means to attract and retain the best talent. So that is known as employment related communication. Now, इसका टर्म से ही आपको क्लियर हो रहा है कि व्हाट इज एम्प्लॉयमेंट रिलेटेड कम्युनिकेशन. लाइक कि आपका अगर कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, वहां पर कुछ वैकेंसीज है, और वो जॉब वैकेंसीज ओपन है, दैट मीन्स कि रिक्रूटमेंट इज ऑन. सो उसके लिए आपको क्या इंफॉर्मेशन देना पड़ेगा in the written form ki this is the job vacancy we have, these are the salary package we are offering, these are the added benefits we are giving, and this is the experience required or the skills required for so and so job. So that will come under employment related communication, as well as this is the basic thing of employment related communication. Other than that, uh, the job seeker will sorry the employer will communicate about the prospective talents about the vacancies, that is the basic requirements about the job, as well as it will communicate about the company culture and perks and benefits, that is the bad benefits like insurance and other things which are being given to the employees will be mentioned. So this is how employment related communication works. Now, the next is an aspirant for a job has to pass through various stages to get the job. The stages are as follows. So, first one is to know your potential. Well, over here, the job seeker must know his or her potential or resources and assess them thoroughly. In this way, he can plan the strategy for going through the process of job searching. First of all, जब आपको मालूम ही नहीं होगा कि आपके प्लस पॉइंट्स क्या है, आपके माइनस पॉइंट्स क्या है, आपकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, आपकी वीकनेसेस क्या है, एंड हाउ टू ओवरकम दोज वीकनेसेस, यू वोंट बी एबल टू क्रैक अ इंटरव्यू, जॉब इंटरव्यू, राइट. सो वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज नो योर पोटेंशियल, नो योर सेल्फ, कि आप क्या हो, आपने क्या पढ़ाई करी है, आपने क्या कोर्सेज करे हैं, आप क्या अच्छा कर सकते हो, आप क्या अच्छा नहीं कर सकते हो ना, हाउ यू हैव इम्प्रूव्ड योर सेल्फ. सो नोइंग योर पोटेंशियल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Next is रिकॉग्नाइज पोटेंशियल एम्प्लॉयर. अभी आप कहाँ जॉब देखना चाहते हो, किधर काम करना चाहते हो, और सर्च आउट, उसको फिगर आउट करना भी बहुत जरूरी है. So the job seeker needs to choose the fields to perform and excel it. If he has a required competence for banking sector, he may choose the employer, any of the existing bank, who can meet his expectations as a job holder. मान लीजिए आपने जो पढ़ाई करी है, तो आप क्या करते हो, आपने अगर पढ़ाई करी हुई है लाइक लेट्स से कंप्यूटर साइंस की, यू आर अ ग्रेजुएट इन कंप्यूटर साइंस, तो विल यू गो टू व्हाट यू से एक लेक्चरर जॉब के लिए आप अप्लाई करोगे क्या जा करके? माइट भी अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट होगा तो आप जा सकते हो, मगर अदरवाइज आपका कुछ लेना देना नहीं है आपकी पढ़ाई से उसके लिए, राइट. So where will you go? Obviously, you will search out any IT company, go a software company, a software development या product based companies. You will search out any those company और उधर ही जाकर के आप कोशिश करोगी कि आपको जॉब मिले. So this is how it works. So you have, after you know your potential, you have to recognize your employer कि हाँ, this is the thing, मैं ये अच्छा कर सकता हूँ, तो मैं ये अच्छा कहाँ करूँगा, right? वो कहाँ का आंसर आपको ढूंढना है. That is to recognize your potential employer. Next, the third one is applying for the job. So at this stage, the job seeker needs to be sincere in preparing the CV, resume, or biodata. Well, in the next class, or maybe today or tomorrow, we will discuss about how to prepare a CV, resume, or biodata. If you people are having or prepared your biodata, resume या CV आप लोगों ने बनाया है अपना? Do you people have it?
No, ma'am. No, no, ma'am.
Huh?
No, ma'am.
No. Anybody has prepared? Anybody किसी के पास है किसी का CV बना हुआ? Other than Pragnya,
Ma'am, once,
Miss Khan, Vikrant, Likhita? हाँ? Yes, tell me. क्या बोल रहे हैं बेटा?
ma'am, 2 minutes. I think I have. Yes, I have, ma'am.
ओके ओके. सो कैन यू प्लीज शेयर कि आपका क्या क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन है? आई डू नॉट वांट द इन्फॉर्मेशन, जस्ट गिव मी द हेडिंग पार्ट कि व्हाट इन्फॉर्मेशन यू हैव मेंशन्ड इन योर सीवी.
So it's in PDF, ma'am. PDF में है वो.
हाँ, हेलो.
2 minutes, ma'am.
ओके. अदर देन प्रज्ञा, एनीबडी एल्स हैव प्रिपेयर्ड देयर सीवी या एनीबडी इज प्रिपेयरिंग देयर सीवी? कोई ऐसा है जिसने बनाया है या करा है? टेल मी, आई कैन हेल्प यू आउट इन प्रिपेयरिंग द सीवी अगर नहीं है तो, क्योंकि यू आर अभी आप ग्रेजुएशन स्टेज पे हो एंड दिस इज द करेक्ट टाइम टू स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग योर सीवी की यहाँ से ही जो जो चीजें आप करते जा रहे हो, जो स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं आप लोगों की, उसको और डेवलप करके आप अपने सीवी में मेंशन करते जाइए. सो दिस इज द करेक्ट टाइम एंड द करेक्ट स्टेज टू प्रिपेयर अ सीवी. इफ यू हैव इट, वेल एंड गुड. इफ यू डू नॉट हैव, माई सजेशन इज टू प्रिपेयर एज सुन एज पॉसिबल. क्योंकि आप जो लोग भी यहाँ आज हो, आप कुछ ना कुछ या तो काम कर रहे होगे, कहीं ना कहीं जॉब कर रहे होगे, अदरवाइज आप जॉब इन फ्यूचर में करोगे. यस और नो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, सो डेफिनेटली यू विल बी रिक्वायरिंग योर सीवी, राइट? सीवी की
Yes,
जरूरत पड़ेगा ना
ma'am.
आपको. कैसे बनाओगे? हाउ विल यू प्रिपेयर?
Mm.
You yourself have to do it na, so you need information regarding that, right? So if you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
it.
Our biodata.
Hmm. I will, so this resume, biodata and CV, these three are the three different things. Next class में we will discuss about, no no, आज ही discuss करेंगे अभी ये क्या क्या है, तीनों चीजें क्या होती हैं. But you have to prepare it for योर एनी फ्यूचर जॉब रेफरेंसेस के लिए, या कहीं आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो तो वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज व्हाट, आप सबसे पहले एम्प्लॉयर या कोई भी होता है ना जिसको आप पूछते हो मुझे जॉब दिलाओ या क्या है, तो वो क्या बोलते हैं, आपका सीवी सेंड करो. अब आपके पास होगा ही नहीं तो आप कैसे सेंड करोगे, राइट? सो दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. सो प्रज्ञा, डिड यू गॉट इट?
Yes, ma'am. I have shared in chat.
Shared it. Pragna, I'll not open this because my screen is on share and everybody will see it. You please open it and tell me ki what information you have mentioned in your CV. Just the headings.
Okay.
Summary.
Okay.
Summary, ma'am.
Summary is there. Then,
Experience.
okay.
And career
Our
objectives.
biodata.
So who is, two people are talking. Pragna, I believe Pragna is discussing about her CV.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please, Pragna, you go ahead. Yeah. Likita, you can tell afterwards.
Personal details.
Yes, Pragna, please, from starting, please tell the things.
Summary, ma'am. Summary
Okay,
and
okay.
career object.
Yes, Pragna, tell me.
Ma'am, it's summary
Okay.
and career object experience
Mm-hmm.
and strength area
Mm-hmm.
and hobbies, personal details.
Okay. Education qualification is not mentioned. Education qualification you have not mentioned.
Hello.
Yes, education qualification you have not mentioned. Acha, leave it. It's okay. You have sent it, no, or do send it on my email address so that I can let you know about it better. So this is my email address over here. Anybody require any help regarding preparation of their CV, do contact me on this email address. After your examination, we can discuss and we can prepare your CV. Now let's move to CV, biodata, and resume. Okay. चलिए. Acha, the last part over here is interviewing, participation and group discussion. Well, for your job purpose, जब आप job के लिए apply करते हो, so these are the stages which you need to qualify. So it is not necessary कि these all three stages. So this both the stages will be there in your interview process. That is interviewing. So interview may consist of a written letter or simply interview will be there. Other than that, participation and group discussions will be there. So it is not necessary कि सारे के सारे jobs में same format follow हो. So it could be different for different jobs. So this is the basic format which we are discussing here. That is interviewing, participation, and group discussions. Right? Group discussion भी आपके syllabus में है. We will discuss further about it. Now talking about CV, resume, and biodata. Just give me a minute, please. We'll start this. So, talking about curriculum vitae, that is CV, resume, and biodata. So, the very first one is the CV. Well, the phrase a curriculum vitae is of Latin origin. So, Latin word से originate हुआ है आपका CV word, that is curriculum vitae. That means course of life. अभी क्या होता है curriculum vitae में? So throughout, just now I have mentioned ki, the things which what do you say? You mentioned in your CV will be your course of life कि throughout आपने अभी तक क्या किया है, आपने क्या education आपने pursue किया है, और आपने क्या प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज किए हैं, आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, क्या हॉबीज है. सो दैट इज योर कोर्स ऑफ लाइफ. सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर बीन मेंशन इन योर सीवी. योर कोर्स ऑफ लाइफ की थ्रू आउट आपकी लाइफ में, दैट इज मतलब द इंफॉर्मेशन विच इज रिलेटेड टू जॉब ओनली. So that will be mentioned in your CV. So it provides a detailed account of applicant covering every skill, all the jobs which the person has done in the previous, the positions on which the person has worked upon, the degrees, that is the education qualification, then the professional affiliation, like the professional courses or any seminars or symposium the person has attended. So that will be mentioned in CV, right, in a proper sequence. Now why we are saying in a proper sequence, मान लीजिए you have an experience of 20 years फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो आप ऐसा वेग इंफॉर्मेशन प्रेजेंट नहीं कर सकते हैं कि हाँ मैंने ये भी काम किया है, मैंने वो भी काम किया है, आई हैव वर्कड एज एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑल्सो, आई वॉज मैनेजर, आई वॉज प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर. नो, इट डज नॉट वर्क लाइक दैट. आपको ईयर, जैसे कि किस ईयर में आपका एजुकेशन खत्म हुआ, उसके बाद आपने क्या किया, मे बी एज अप्रेंटिस यू वर वर्किंग, और कुछ भी काम किया वेयर यू वर नॉट अर्निंग, जस्ट गेनिंग द थिंग्स, जस्ट गेनिंग द ट्रेनिंग, वो मेंशन करिए आप विद द ईयर. देन टॉक अबाउट द वेरी फर्स्ट जॉब विद द ईयर, then the next job, then the next job. If there is any gap in between, कि मान लीजिए 1-2 साल आपने काम नहीं किया या आपके पास नहीं था, so also you have to mention that period and the reason कि आपने ये ड्यूरेशन में काम क्यों नहीं किया, why you were not active, right? So that is how you need to present information in your CV. Now, the next thing over here is resume. Well, a resume is a French word, means summary. In a fact, a resume contains a summary of the applicant's education, professional skill, previous job, and personal interest. Now, you can say the CV is in a detailed form, right? And resume, by the name itself, it is telling resume. That means छोटा फॉर्म में, ब्रीफली आपको जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आपने सीवी में प्रेजेंट किया था, उसको जब आप ब्रीफली लिखते हैं तो हम उसको बोलते हैं resume, right? So that is the difference between the CV and the resume. Both are not same. Resume is a summarized form, is a brief form of your CV, right? CV में पूरा year wise, detail wise, everything will be there, whereas रिज्यूम में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. इट इज इन अ समरी फॉर्म, बट पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन होगा, एवरीथिंग विल बी देयर बट इन अ समराइज्ड फॉर्म. Next one is biodata. Well, from the name itself, biodata is a short form of biographical data. Biographical data का मतलब क्या होता है, आपका नाम क्या है, आपका जेंडर क्या है, आपका हाइट कितना है, आपका एज कितना है, राइट, आप रहते कहाँ हो, आपके पेरेंट्स के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन, आपके सिबलिंग्स के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन, आपके स्पाउस के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन. सो दैट इज नोन एज बायोडेटा, राइट. नाउ अभी डिफरेंस समझ में आया आपको सीवी, रेज्यूम और बायोडेटा के बीच में? यस, नो?
Yes, ma'am.
टेल मी. राइट. सो ऑल थ्री आर नॉट सेम. हम कभी भी यूज कर लेते हैं कि मुझे, मान लीजिए आप किसी को जॉब के लिए पूछ रहे हैं तो अपना बायोडाटा भेज देना. बायोडाटा इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. उसमें एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं होता, उसमें आपको प्रोफेशनल एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता, राइट. सो वेन एवर यू आर यूजिंग दीज टर्म्स, बी वेरी केयरफुल. नाउ यू नो द मीनिंग, the differences between the three. So be very careful. If anybody is asking you about your resume, do not send your biodata, do not send your CV, send your resume only. If anybody is asking about CV, do not mistake and send your biodata. Biodata is different. Just now I told you ना क्या क्या information होता है biodata में. So this is how these three things work. So basically for any job you will be asked about your CV, और बहुत कम पूछा जाता है रिज्यूम को. तो अच्छा, व्हाट वेयर वाज आई, कि अभी मैंने अपना ईमेल एड्रेस भी शेयर किया है. तो एनीबडी हु नीड एनी हेल्प इन प्रिपेयरिंग देयर सीवी कैन कांटेक्ट मी, और किसी के पास ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड है सीवी, देन आल्सो दे कैन कांटेक्ट मी, अगर उसको ठीक से बनाना है तो, राइट, आफ्टर द एग्जामिनेशन. चलिए, सो दिस वाज सीवी. थोड़ा और सीवी के बारे में पढ़ेंगे आगे क्या है. Give me a minute, please. Just a minute. Well, yes, talking about components of a good CV. So, as the CV is an, you can say, identity card for applicants entry into her chosen job. इसको बोल सकते हैं आपका आईडी कार्ड सीवी को, राइट? व्हाट दे आर सेइंग. सो इसमें क्या क्या डिटेल्स चाहिए? द फर्स्ट डिटेल विल बी योर पर्सनल डिटेल. अच्छा, पर्सनल डिटेल में भी बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल्स आपको देने की जरूरत नहीं है सीवी में. सो यू कैन सी क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन हम यहाँ पे देंगे. We will mention the address, the email, phone number, marital status, nationality, date, place of birth, and also addition of social media accounts if it is used in a professional way. मान लीजिए आपका जो अब सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट है, योर इंस्टाग्राम और योर फेसबुक अकाउंट, एनीवे इफ यू आर यूजिंग योर social media accounts in a professional way, then you need to mention these, right? Next is the education qualification. This contains the qualification in a chronographical order with the authentic data. So जो percentages या divisions आप mention कर रहे हैं need to be authentic, right? Need to be factual. So education qualification will be mentioned. Next is the work experience. This includes specific applicable experience in relation to the job as opposed to generalities. Next is skill summary. So this includes a brief bulleted list of the relevant skill and experience with the applicants that the applicant have. Next is a knowledge of languages. If you know other languages as well, like some foreign languages like German, French, Italian, Spanish, so you mention them. Other than that, some local regional languages, whatever languages you are, you know. So accordingly, you can read, write. So accordingly, you will mention ki, let's say for example of French. You can speak French, but you cannot write and read. So mention likely, yes, I can speak, but I cannot read and write. So this is how you will mention about the knowledge of languages. Next is interest and other activities like your hobbies, right? So that is how your this is the essentials of a good CV. ये सारी चीजें उसमें mention रहना चाहिए. Next we will talk about a resume. So a resume does not usually list out all the education and professional qualification, but only highlight specific skills. That is जो मैंने बताया आपको, that is in the summarized form. Next is it aims at presenting a personalized document that must be fully groomed using applicants' effective writing skill. That means कि ये जो resume है ये आपको खुद लिखना पड़ेगा आपके लिए, right? और it is like your personalized document. It should be precise, that is brief में होना चाहिए, छोटा होना चाहिए, and factual, where each sentence need to be authentic and not blown up beyond the values. ज्यादा डिटेल इंफॉर्मेशन जरूरत नहीं है, जस्ट ब्रीफली फैक्ट्स को मेंशन करना होता है रिज्यूम में, राइट? Next, biodata. Well, biodata is the shortest form of biographical data. The information mentioned in biodata will be date of birth, personal height, weight, father's name, mother's name, gender, complexion, religion, marital status, nationality, and permanent address. Other than that, the information will be आपका education qualification, professional background, skills, hobbies, interests, strengths, potentials, and achievements will be mentioned in biodata. Accordingly कि क्या requirement है उसके according आप इसमें mention कर सकते हो information. So, am I clear with all the three concept of CV, resume, and biodata? समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure, good. नेक्स्ट इज कवरिंग लेटर. सो कवरिंग लेटर क्या होता है कि जब भी हम जॉब को अप्लाई करते हैं, या हम कोई भी एप्लीकेशन अप्लाई करते हैं, या हम कहीं अपना बायोडेटा सेंड करते हैं, लाइक फॉर मैरिज प्रपोजल पर्पज से, या कुछ भी हम सेंड करते हैं, तो उसके लिए वी हैव टू राइट अ कवरिंग लेटर. यानी कि अंदर आपका रिज्यूम होगा, अंदर आपका बायोडेटा होगा या सीवी होगा, बट ऊपर एक कवरिंग लेटर होता है. तो व्हाट इज दैट लेटर? लेट्स सी. वेल, अ जॉब एप्लीकेशन लेटर, आल्सो नोन एज covering letter, is sent attached with the application resume or CV, right? The letter represent the documents attached with the application. It provide a brief account of application applicant's interest in the job. Effective application letter explain well the reason for the applicant interest. Also, the application letter communicates to the employer about the position the applicant is applying for and what makes him more suitable candidate, that why he should be selected for a interview. मान लीजिए आप किसी आपने न्यूज़पेपर में कोई जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट देखा और वहां पर लिखा हुआ था कि आपको थ्रू वाया ईमेल आपको अपना सीवी सेंड करना है, राइट? तो अभी आप क्या करोगे? आप ईमेल में जाओगे, कंपोज करोगे, और आपका वो पर्सन का ईमेल एड्रेस लिखोगे. फिर आपको सब्जेक्ट लिखना पड़ेगा कि वाई, व्हाट इज द सब्जेक्ट, पर्पस ऑफ राइटिंग दिस ईमेल. फिर आप आपका सीवी अटैच कर दोगे. अब उसको खाली तो नहीं भेज सकते ना. यू हैव टू राइट समथिंग इन द बॉडी ऑफ द ईमेल. दैट बॉडी विल बी कॉल्ड एज द कवरिंग लेटर. अभी आप उसमें क्या क्या मेंशन करोगे कि यू हैव सीन इन द न्यूज़पेपर सो एंड सो job requirement, and for that purpose you find yourself suitable because you have enough experience for that, the required experience you are having, the required qualification you are having, and you are the right candidate for the so and so job. So these information you will mention, and you will request the person जिसके भी नाम पे आप email लिख रहे हो कि do in the attachment you can find my CV and you can consider me for so and so job because I have all the required थिंग्स, लाइक रिक्वायर्ड एजुकेशन भी है मेरे पास और एक्सपीरियंस भी है इस जॉब के लिए. सो ये जो चीजें आपने मेंशन करी ना, along with the attachment of your CV, this information will be known as covering letter. Am I clear with the covering letter concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. सो whenever you are, जैसे कि मैंने अभी आप लोगों को ईमेल एड्रेस मेरा शेयर किया, डू नॉट सेंड मी ब्लैंक ईमेल्स. यानी कि उसकी बॉडी में कुछ ना कुछ कवरिंग लेटर मेंशन करिए कि मैम आपने क्लास में ऐसा ऐसा हमसे डिस्कस किया था, एंड आपने कहा था यू विल हेल्प अस आउट विद द सब्जेक्ट, विद द सीवी थिंग, विद द नोट्स, विद द पीपीटी. सो फॉर्मली when you are writing the things, that will be known as covering letter. So I'm expecting कि if anybody is sending me the email, proper covering letter या proper information please mention करिए उसमें. Okay. Now, you people have the syllabus copy. I request you all to please check your syllabus copy because in the next class, we will try completing all the syllabus. And the last class, we will discuss about the important points and the tips and tricks to write a good examination. So tomorrow we will try discussing completing all the topics. So you can go through the your syllabus content. If anything is there you want me to cover, which I have, वैसे तो मैंने पूरा ही कवर किया है, बट इफ एनीथिंग इज देयर जिसका रिवीजन आपको चाहिए या आप चाहते हो कि मैं कवर करूं, डू मेंशन इन द इनबॉक्स नाउ और यू कैन ईमेल मी. टुमारो वी कैन डिस्कस. ओके. So this was all for today's class. We'll meet tomorrow at 12, right? कल 12 PM को हमारा क्लास होगा. कल और परसों के दिन। कल मिलेंगे 12 बजे, विल कंटिन्यू फर्दर।
ओके मैम।